15 mind-blowing facts about Uzbekistan, Central Asia's most mysterious country. Imagine a place where history, culture, and mystery collide in ways you've never seen before. A land that's been at the crossroads of empires for over 2,500 years, yet remains one of the most overlooked treasures on the planet. Welcome to Uzbekistan. This is a country where stunning Silk Road cities, awe-inspiring landscapes, and ancient stories will make you question everything you thought you knew about Central Asia. Did you know that this country, rich in history and culture, was once the beating heart of the Silk Road and has been home to conquerors, poets, and scholars whose names are written in history? Keep watching, because these 15 mind-blowing facts about Uzbekistan will leave you speechless and may even change the way you see the world forever. Did you know Uzbekistan is home to one of the oldest cities in the world? Or that the country's incredible architecture could rival the ancient wonders of the world? Stick around, because what you'll learn next will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about this undiscovered gem. Welcome to Uzbekistan, a country that doesn't just tell stories, it lives them. Often overlooked by many, Uzbekistan is a place where history isn't just learned, it's experienced at every corner. Think you know Central Asia? Think again. This is a land where the ancient and the modern coexist in ways that are nothing short of breathtaking. From the breathtaking architecture of Samarkand, with its gleaming blue tiles and towering minarets, to the bustling bazaars of Bukhara, Uzbekistan offers more than just history. It offers a glimpse into a way of life that has remained largely unchanged for centuries. But what's even more fascinating is the rich culture and deep-rooted traditions that continue to thrive here today, long after ancient empires have fallen and modern cities have risen. This isn't just another travel destination. It's an adventure into the heart of a country that has shaped the world as we know it. Are you ready to uncover the secrets of this undiscovered gem? Trust me, the stories you're about to hear will surprise you, excite you, and leave you wanting more. Let's go. Fact 1. Uzbekistan is home to one of the oldest cities in the world. Samarkand. Samarkand, one of the oldest cities in the world, has been at the crossroads of history for over 2,500 years. Imagine standing in a place where empires rose and fell, where some of the world's greatest minds walked, and where cultures from across the globe met and exchanged ideas. This is Samarkand. Samarkand's story is incredible. Its history dates back to the 7th century BC, making it one of the oldest cities still standing today. For centuries, it was the heart of the Silk Road, the ancient trade route that connected the east to the west. Picture this: caravans of merchants traveling through the vast deserts of Central Asia, carrying goods like silk, spices, and precious gems. These merchants would stop in Samarkand to rest, trade, and share stories. It wasn't just a stopover, it was a cultural melting pot, where ideas, art, and inventions were exchanged across borders. Samarkand was home to scientists, mathematicians, and poets who influenced not only the region, but the entire world. The city itself is like stepping back in time. As you walk through its streets today, you're surrounded by ancient structures that have withstood the test of time. One of the most impressive places in Samarkand is Registan Square, a grand open space surrounded by 3 stunning madrasas, Islamic schools, that are covered in intricate mosaics and carvings. Standing there, you can almost feel the energy of the past. The buildings are like giant books of history, their walls whispering tales of the great leaders who once stood there. Then, there's Shah-e-Zinda, a necropolis where the tombs of Samarkand's most influential figures are located. The architecture here is just as breathtaking, beautifully tiled and designed with such care that it feels like a living museum. You can almost imagine what it must have been like when the city was at its peak, filled with scholars, traders, and artists from every corner of the world. But Samarkand is more than just its physical beauty. It's the stories that have been told and retold for centuries that make it special. This is a place where history isn't just something you read about. It's something you can feel. The city has been a crossroads for many great civilizations, from the Persians to the Arabs, from the Mongols to the Russians, each leaving their mark on the city's culture and architecture. It's also where one of history's most famous conquerors, Tamarlain, rose to power. He turned Samarkand into the capital of his empire and left a legacy of grand buildings and historical monuments that still stand today. Samarkand became a center of knowledge and culture under his rule, attracting scholars, artists, and architects from all over the world. This blend of history, culture, and influence made Samarkand one of the most important cities of the ancient world. As you stand in Samarkand today, it's hard not to be in awe of everything this city has witnessed. From ancient traders to mighty rulers, from scientific discoveries to architectural wonders, Samarkand has seen it all. And yet, it continues to stand proudly, offering a glimpse into a time when the world was much smaller and yet so much more connected. It's a place where history is not just preserved, but alive and breathing. If you ever get the chance to visit, don't just look at the buildings. Listen to the stories they have to tell. You're standing in one of the oldest cities on Earth, a true testament to human resilience and creativity. Fact 2. Tamarlain, the fearsome conqueror, was born in Uzbekistan. Most people know Tamarlain for his ruthless empire building, but did you know he was born in Uzbekistan? Tamarlain, also known as Timur, was a figure who instilled fear across vast territories. Born in the city of Shahrisabz in Uzbekistan, his name is still remembered for his brutal conquests and the vast empire he built. Timur's life was one of power, bloodshed, and a drive to conquer the world. But what's most incredible is that his journey started in this quiet part of Central Asia, where the seeds of greatness were planted. Tamerlane was born in 1336 into a family of nomadic warriors. While he might have started with humble beginnings, his ambition and skill as a military strategist quickly set him apart. Unlike many conquerors of his time, Timur didn't just want to conquer lands, he wanted to leave a legacy that would live on forever. His empire stretched from Turkey in the west all the way to India in the east, including parts of Persia, Russia, and the Caucasus. In his wake, he left a trail of cities razed to the ground, but also some of the most stunning architectural monuments ever built. What makes Tamerlane's story even more interesting is the mix of cruelty and culture that defined his reign. On one hand, he was a ruthless conqueror who showed no mercy to his enemies. It's said that when his armies captured cities, they often wiped out entire populations. But on the other hand, Timur was also a patron of the arts. He understood the power of culture and how it could unite his empire. In cities like Samarkand, he brought scholars, poets, and artists from all over the world. Under his rule, Samarkand became a cultural and intellectual hub where Islamic art, science, and architecture flourished. Timur's legacy is still visible today in Uzbekistan's rich cultural landscape. In Samarkand, one of the most famous cities he helped transform, you can see magnificent structures like the Bibi Kanyam Mosque, which he built in honor of his wife. The mosque is a masterpiece of architecture, with intricate designs and massive domes that still impress visitors today. His influence also extended to Shahrisabz, his birthplace, where the Aksaray Palace was built to showcase his power. Even though the palace is in ruins today, its grand scale is a reminder of Tamerlane's ambition and vision. Tamerlane's empire eventually fell after his death in 1405, but his impact on the world and on Uzbekistan remained. His descendants continued his legacy, and his influence can be seen in the country's architecture, art, and culture. Today, Uzbekistan honors Tamerlane's legacy as part of its rich historical tapestry, with monuments, museums, and even the Tamarlain Museum in Samarkand dedicated to his life and rule. When you think about Tamerlane, it's hard to ignore his violent conquests and the fear he spread across nations. But what's even more remarkable is how he shaped the cultural identity of Uzbekistan and helped cement its place in world history. His empire may have crumbled, but the structures and culture he helped build continue to stand tall. When you visit Uzbekistan today, you're not just walking through a country, you're walking through the footprint of one of history's most powerful and complicated figures. Fact 3. Uzbekistan is a land of stunning architecture. Prepare to be blown away by the architecture in Uzbekistan. It's some of the most stunning in the world. Oh, imagine stepping into a place where the walls of every building tell a story. Uzbekistan is a land that's rich in history, and its architecture is a testament to the greatness of the civilizations that once thrived here. The country is home to some of the most beautiful and intricate buildings you'll ever see. Cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva are like living museums, where ancient Persian and Islamic designs are still proudly standing after centuries. One of the most striking features of Uzbek architecture is its blue tile work. The famous blue tiles cover many of the buildings, from mosques to madrasas, Islamic schools, giving the entire country a vibrant, almost magical feel. In Samarkand, the Registan Square is a perfect example of this beautiful tile work. The madrasas here are adorned with intricate patterns and designs, featuring shades of blue, turquoise, and gold. When you stand in front of these buildings, you can't help but marvel at the skill and craftsmanship that went into creating these masterpieces centuries ago. But it's not just the tiles that make Uzbek architecture so impressive. The minarets, tall, thin towers that are used for calling people to prayer, are another highlight. These towering structures can be found all over the country, and they seem to reach for the sky, standing as proud symbols of Uzbekistan's Islamic heritage. The Kalyan minaret in Bukhara is one of the most famous. This minaret, built in the 12th century, stands at an impressive 47 meters tall and has been a beacon for travelers and worshippers for hundreds of years. Standing next to it, you can feel the weight of history around you. Another architectural gem is the Shah-e Zinda in Samarkand. This is a necropolis or burial site with a series of tombs that are decorated with gorgeous tiles. The buildings here have an otherworldly beauty, and each one seems to tell its own story of those buried within. The colors and designs are so vivid and detailed that it feels like walking through a dream. Then there's Khiva, a city that looks like it's straight out of a fairy tale. The Ichan Kala, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is the old walled city of Khiva, and it's filled with impressive buildings, mosques, and towers, many of which date back to the 18th century. The Kulta Minor minaret in Khiva is a striking example of this unique architectural style. It's covered in blue tiles and stands as one of the most recognizable landmarks of the city. What makes these buildings even more special is the history they represent. They've stood through centuries of change, from the rise and fall of empires to the shifting tides of culture and religion. Yet they remain as symbols of Uzbekistan's rich heritage and artistic achievements. The fact that these structures are still standing today is a testament to the incredible skill and ingenuity of the architects and artisans who built them. Uzbekistan's architecture isn't just about beautiful buildings. It's a window into the soul of the country. Each structure reflects the history, culture, and religion that has shaped the people of this land for centuries. From towering minarets to intricate tile work, the country's buildings are a celebration of art and craftsmanship that you can't help but be amazed by. So, if you ever visit Uzbekistan, take the time to look up, down, and all around. You're walking through a living gallery of one of the most beautiful and well-preserved architectural legacies in the world. Fact 4. Uzbekistan has one of the world's largest and most beautiful deserts. Kizilkum. Uzbekistan isn't just about ancient cities. It's home to one of the largest deserts in the world, Kizilkum. Stretching over an area of 300,000 square kilometers, the Kizilkum Desert is one of the biggest and most fascinating deserts you'll ever encounter. Its name, which means red sand, perfectly captures the unique landscape you'll find here. When you think of deserts, you might picture endless dunes of golden sand, but Kizilkum has a rugged, varied terrain that tells a story all its own. The reddish-orange sands that cover the desert give it a warm, almost otherworldly glow that changes throughout the day as the sun rises and sets. But Kizilkum isn't just about sand. It's a place of striking contrasts. While much of the desert is dry and barren, there are pockets of life scattered throughout. From rare wild animals like the sand cat and desert fox to hardy plants that survive in the harsh conditions, the desert is home to a surprising amount of life. One of the most fascinating things about Kizilkum is how it supports such a delicate balance of nature in an area that seems so inhospitable at first glance. The desert's flora, like the saltwort plant, have adapted to survive the intense heat and lack of water, creating an ecosystem that thrives despite the odds. Historically, the Kizilkum Desert has played an important role in the region. It was once a key part of the Silk Road, the ancient trade route that connected the East and West. Caravans of merchants, traders, and travelers used the desert as a route to transport valuable goods like silk, spices, and precious stones. Imagine walking in the footsteps of these ancient travelers, crossing the same paths that linked civilizations, cultures, and ideas across continents. Even though the desert seems quiet and empty now, it once buzzed with activity as people braved the harsh conditions in search of wealth and knowledge. For centuries, the desert has also been home to nomadic peoples who have learned how to live off its tough land. These nomads have developed unique ways to survive in such a harsh environment, using the scarce water sources, sheltering in traditional yurts, and relying on camels to help them travel through the dry heat. Their way of life has adapted to the desert's rhythms, living with the land rather than fighting against it. Today, Kizilkum Desert remains an incredible part of Uzbekistan's natural landscape. It's a place where adventure seekers and nature lovers can explore its vastness, trek through the rugged terrain, and experience its unique beauty up close. Whether it's watching the sunset over the sand dunes, spotting rare wildlife, or learning about the desert's rich history as a major stop on the Silk Road, Kizilkum is a place that leaves a lasting impression. So, if you ever find yourself in Uzbekistan, don't just stay in the cities, take the time to visit Kizilkum. It's a place that offers a completely different experience from the country's urban centers, one where you can truly appreciate the incredible beauty and history of Uzbekistan's natural landscape. Fact 5. It's the birthplace of the legendary poets and scholars. Ever heard of the famous Persian poet Omar Khayyam? Uzbekistan is his birthplace. Uzbekistan is not only famous for its stunning architecture and ancient cities, but also as the birthplace of some of the world's most influential poets and scholars. One of the most notable figures is Omar Khayyam, a Persian poet, philosopher, and mathematician whose work has had a lasting impact on literature and science. Born in Nishapur, which is now part of Uzbekistan, Khayyam is best known for his collection of poems called the Rubaiyat. His poems, filled with wisdom and reflections on life, love, and the fleeting nature of time, have been translated into many languages and continue to inspire readers around the world. But Khayyam wasn't just a poet. He was also a brilliant mathematician who made significant contributions to algebra and geometry. His work on solving cubic equations was groundbreaking, and he helped lay the foundations for the development of mathematics. His scientific achievements were as remarkable as his poetry, making him a true Renaissance man of his time. Alongside Khayyam, al-Biruni, another brilliant mind, was also born in Uzbekistan. Al-Biruni was an incredibly gifted scientist and scholar who made significant contributions to a wide range of fields, including astronomy, mathematics, and history. He is best known for his detailed studies of the Indian subcontinent, where he traveled extensively and wrote groundbreaking works on the culture, religion, and sciences of the region. His insights into the movement of the stars and the Earth's rotation were way ahead of his time. The legacy of these two scholars is still felt today. In Uzbekistan, you can find numerous references to Khayyam and al-Biruni, from monuments and memorials to modern-day celebrations of their work. For instance, in Samarkand, one of Uzbekistan's most famous cities, you can visit the Omar Khayyam Mausoleum, a place where people come to pay homage to the poet who shaped the course of both literature and science. You'll also find the Al-Biruni Museum in Bukhara, which is dedicated to the scientist's life and achievements. These places celebrate the incredible contributions these men made to the world and serve as reminders of Uzbekistan's rich intellectual heritage. Uzbekistan's history as a center of learning goes beyond just Khayyam and al-Biruni. During the Islamic Golden Age, Uzbekistan was home to many scholars and scientists who helped shape the development of mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. Samarkand, in particular, became a hub for scholars from all over the world, and the city's famous Registan Square was once a place where knowledge was exchanged and ideas flourished. The work of Khayyam and al-Biruni continues to inspire scholars and poets today. Their contributions to literature, mathematics, and science are a testament to the intellectual richness of Uzbekistan, and they remind us of the country's role as a center of learning and innovation throughout history. So, when you think about Uzbekistan, don't just picture its stunning architecture or ancient cities. Remember that this country is also the birthplace of some of the greatest minds in history, whose ideas still shape the world we live in today. Fact 6. Uzbekistan has a unique and fascinating cuisine. If you think Central Asian food is just about kebabs, think again. Uzbek cuisine is a feast for the senses. Uzbek cuisine is full of flavor, rich in history, and diverse in its dishes. If you ever visit Uzbekistan, you'll quickly realize that the food here is much more than just kebabs or grilled meat. It's a celebration of local ingredients, centuries-old recipes, and the pride the people take in their cooking. One of the most famous dishes in Uzbekistan is plov, also called pilav. This dish is the heart and soul of Uzbek cuisine, and no gathering or special occasion is complete without it. Plov is a hearty rice pilaf made with lamb, carrots, onions, and a variety of spices. It's rich in flavor, with each bite offering a satisfying blend of tender meat and perfectly cooked rice. What makes plov so special is how it's prepared. In Uzbekistan, it's often cooked in a large, heavy pot called a kazan, over an open flame. The preparation of plov is an event in itself, and it's often done in a communal setting. Each region in Uzbekistan has its own version of plov, so depending on where you are, you might find slight differences in the way it's made. Some places may add dried fruits like raisins, while others use different cuts of meat. Regardless of the variation, plov is always served with great care and pride. But plov isn't the only dish that makes Uzbek cuisine stand out. Shashlik, a skewered meat dish, is also incredibly popular. This dish features marinated lamb or beef, grilled to perfection, and served with flatbread and fresh vegetables. While shashlik is commonly associated with Central Asia, Uzbekistan's version is uniquely flavorful, thanks to the marinating process that uses local spices and herbs. Speaking of bread, one of the highlights of any meal in Uzbekistan is the Uzbek bread, known as naan. Baked in traditional clay ovens, the bread has a crispy outer crust and a soft, pillowy interior. It's so important in Uzbek culture that you'll often see it placed at the center of the table during meals. The bread is round, and sometimes the top is decorated with patterns, which makes it not just delicious, but also beautiful to look at. Whether you're dipping it in a soup, using it to scoop up plov, or just eating it on its own, Uzbek bread is a staple you'll find at almost every meal. If you have a sweet tooth, you'll also want to try samsa, a savory pastry filled with meat, onions, and sometimes potatoes or pumpkin. These pastries are baked until golden and crispy, making them the perfect snack or appetizer. Some variations of samsa even include lamb or beef, but you can also find sweet versions that are stuffed, with fruit, making for a delicious contrast of flavors. Manti, a type of steamed dumpling, is another must-try dish in Uzbekistan. These dumplings are typically filled with minced meat, onions, and spices. The dough is soft and chewy, and the filling is packed with flavor. They're usually served with a dollop of sour cream or a tangy yogurt-based sauce, making them incredibly satisfying and delicious. Uzbek cuisine also includes a variety of soups and stews, such as shurpa, which is a hearty meat and vegetable soup, and lagman, a noodle-based dish that's rich in flavor and usually served with a savory broth, meat, and vegetables. Both dishes are filling and comforting, perfect for warming up on a cool evening. What makes Uzbek food even more interesting is the cultural significance behind it. Meals are often served in large, family-style platters, and eating together is a way of bonding and sharing. The way food is served, prepared, and enjoyed plays a major role in the social life of Uzbekistan. It's not just about satisfying hunger, it's about bringing people together, celebrating tradition, and enjoying the rich flavors that have been passed down through generations. So, next time you think of Central Asian cuisine, remember that Uzbek food is so much more than kebabs. It's a whole world of flavors waiting to be explored, with each dish offering a taste of the country's culture, history, and pride. Whether it's the iconic plov, the crispy bread, or the savory dumplings, Uzbekistan's food is a true reflection of its people. A warm, welcoming, and rich experience for your taste buds. Fact 7. Uzbekistan is one of the world's largest cotton producers. Did you know that Uzbekistan is one of the largest cotton producers in the world? Uzbekistan's cotton industry is often called the white gold of the country, and for good reason. Cotton has been one of the main agricultural products in Uzbekistan for over a century, and it continues to be a crucial part of the country's economy. In fact, Uzbekistan is one of the top producers of cotton in the world, and its cotton fields stretch across vast areas, particularly in the Fergana Valley, one of the most fertile regions in the country. The Fergana Valley is not only beautiful, but also extremely productive when it comes to agriculture. This area is perfect for growing cotton because of its climate, which has hot summers and cold winters. These conditions, along with a strong tradition of farming in the region, have helped Uzbekistan become a global leader in cotton production. The country's cotton fields span over 1.5 million hectares, making it one of the largest cotton-growing areas in the world. Uzbekistan's cotton industry is so important that it impacts nearly every part of the economy. Cotton is used to make textiles, clothes, and a wide range of other products. In fact, the cotton industry is one of the country's biggest sources of export revenue. When you buy clothes made from cotton, there's a good chance some of the fabric came from Uzbekistan. This has made the country a key player in the global textile market for decades. But there's more to the story than just the size of the cotton industry. It's also about how the country has managed this resource. Cotton farming in Uzbekistan is a highly labor-intensive process, with many farmers working the fields by hand. The work can be difficult and demanding, especially during the harvest season when large numbers of workers gather to pick the cotton. Over the years, the government has implemented systems to make cotton farming more efficient and increase production, but the process still requires a lot of effort from many people across the country. Cotton has also played a key role in the development of Uzbekistan's infrastructure. To help transport the cotton from the fields to factories and markets, the country has invested in building roads, railways, and other facilities. This has helped not only cotton farmers but also local industries that depend on the cotton trade to produce fabrics and textiles. However, while cotton has brought many benefits to the country, it has also raised environmental concerns. Uzbekistan has faced challenges related to water usage because cotton farming requires large amounts of irrigation. The country's reliance on the Amu Darya and Sir Darya rivers for irrigation has caused water levels in these rivers to drop over the years. This has led to concerns about the sustainability of cotton farming in the future, and in recent years there have been efforts to find more eco-friendly and water-efficient farming methods. Despite these challenges, cotton remains an essential part of Uzbekistan's economy and cultural identity. It has shaped the lives of millions of people in the country and continues to play a central role in its agricultural sector. As the world's demand for cotton products continues to grow, Uzbekistan's cotton fields are likely to remain a vital part of the global textile industry for years to come. So, next time you wear your favorite cotton shirt or jeans, you might want to remember that Uzbekistan is one of the countries responsible for producing the cotton that makes it all possible. It's an industry that's been at the heart of the country for generations, and it's still going strong today. Fact 8. Home to the ancient city of Khiva, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Khiva is a city frozen in time, and it might be one of the most underrated UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Khiva is a city unlike any other. It's like stepping into a living history book, where you can walk through ancient streets and explore buildings that have stood for hundreds of years. Located in the western part of Uzbekistan, Khiva's Old Town is one of the best preserved examples of an ancient city from the Silk Road, the famous trade route that connected the east and west. The Old Town, known as Ichan Kala, is surrounded by thick mud brick walls and features ornate gates that transport visitors back in time. It feels as if the city has remained untouched by modern development, preserving its original charm and history. When you wander through the narrow streets of Khiva, you'll notice the incredible architecture that tells the story of the city's past. The city is full of mosques, madrasas, Islamic schools, minarets, and palaces that showcase the craftsmanship of the people who built them centuries ago. One of the most iconic landmarks in Khiva is the Kalta Minor Minaret, which stands out with its vibrant blue tiles and intricate patterns. Although the minaret was never completed, its towering presence remains one of the most recognizable symbols of Khiva. Another must-see in Khiva is the Kunya Ark Fortress, which was once the residence of Khiva's rulers. The fortress is filled with rooms, courtyards, and towers that give you a glimpse into the life of the city's past rulers and their families. The buildings here are decorated with beautiful tiles, carvings, and other decorations that highlight the city's rich artistic and cultural history. Khiva's Ichan Kala is not just an open-air museum, it's a living, breathing part of Uzbekistan's history. The city has been home to many different cultures and empires over the centuries, and this rich history is reflected in its buildings and traditions. Despite its age, Khiva has managed to preserve its charm and beauty, making it one of the best examples of a Silk Road city that still exists today. What makes Khiva even more special is its sense of authenticity. Unlike other historical sites that have been heavily renovated or modernized, Khiva has kept much of its original appearance. The city's mud brick walls, ancient gates, and historic buildings are all still standing strong, and walking through Khiva feels like you've stepped into a time long past. Being a UNESCO World Heritage Site means that Khiva is protected and preserved for future generations to appreciate. It's a place where history comes alive, and it's one of the hidden gems of Uzbekistan. Whether you're a history buff, an architecture lover, or just someone who enjoys exploring new places, Khiva offers a unique experience that's hard to find anywhere else in the world. Fact 9. Uzbekistan has a population of over 33 million. With a population of over 33 million people, Uzbekistan is the most populous country in Central Asia. Although Uzbekistan is often overshadowed by its larger neighbors, it stands out in Central Asia due to its population size and diversity. With over 33 million people, Uzbekistan is the most populous country in the region, and this large population adds to the country's vibrant energy. The people of Uzbekistan come from many different ethnic backgrounds, creating a rich and diverse culture that is reflected in the country's traditions, languages, and way of life. The majority of Uzbekistan's population is Uzbek, but the country is also home to many other ethnic groups such as Tajiks, Kazakhs, Karakalpaks, and Rus. This mix of ethnicities has resulted in a unique blend of customs, food, music, and language. Uzbek is the official language, but you will also hear Russian, Tajik, and other languages spoken in different parts of the country, showcasing the country's multicultural nature. The cultural diversity in Uzbekistan is something that stands out in everyday life. For example, festivals and celebrations in the country are a blend of traditional Uzbek practices along with influences from neighboring regions. These events often bring together people from different backgrounds, allowing them to share their customs and traditions. Whether it's celebrating Nowruz, the Persian New Year, Ramadan, or Independence Day, the entire country comes together to enjoy these moments as a community. The variety of cultures in Uzbekistan also shows in the food. From the hearty and flavorful plav, a rice dish with lamb, carrots, and onions, to samsa, savory pastries, Uzbekistan's cuisine reflects influences from Central Asia, the Middle East, and even Russia. Each region has its own special recipes and flavors, contributing to a rich culinary heritage that's loved by locals and visitors alike. This cultural mosaic isn't just about the people. It's also seen in the arts, music, and architecture. Uzbekistan's cities, especially Samarkand and Bukhara, have long been cultural centers where different groups have met, traded, and shared their artistic traditions. You can find unique designs in the tiles of mosques, traditional music that blends different instruments, and stories passed down through generations. Uzbekistan's population is not just large, it's vibrant, dynamic, and full of life. The mix of cultures, traditions, and languages creates a country that is rich in diversity. Despite being a smaller country compared to its neighbors, Uzbekistan's population adds to its charm and importance in the Central Asian region. Fact 10. The Fergana Valley is known as Central Asia's breadbasket. Have you ever wondered where much of Central Asia's food comes from? It's all thanks to the Fergana Valley. The Fergana Valley is often called the breadbasket of Central Asia, and for good reason. This fertile area is one of the most productive agricultural regions in the entire region. With its rich soil, mild climate, and access to water from the Sir Darya River, the valley is perfect for farming. It's no surprise that the Fergana Valley produces a large portion of the food for Uzbekistan and neighboring countries. The valley is known for growing a wide variety of crops. Wheat is one of the most important, as it's a staple food in the region. The valley's farmers grow enough wheat to supply not just Uzbekistan, but also other Central Asian countries. In addition to wheat, the Fergana Valley is famous for cotton, which is another major crop in the area. Cotton is so important here that it's sometimes referred to as white gold. The valley's fertile land allows farmers to produce cotton in large quantities, which plays a major role in Uzbekistan's economy and export market. The valley is also rich in fruit production. Apples, grapes, and melons are some of the most common fruits grown here. The Fergana Valley is particularly known for its delicious apples, which are grown in many orchards that cover the valley. The sweet, juicy apples from this area are highly prized in markets, not just in Uzbekistan, but around the world. In addition to fruits and grains, the valley is also a major producer of vegetables, herbs, and tobacco. The combination of the valley's climate and fertile soil makes it ideal for growing crops all year round. The region has a long history. of successful farming, with generations of farmers passing down their knowledge of irrigation, crop rotation, and sustainable farming techniques. The Fergana Valley is not just important for its food production, it's also crucial to the region's economy. Many families in the valley rely on farming for their livelihoods. The crops grown here are sold in local markets, and much of the cotton and other agricultural products are exported to other countries, making the valley an important part of Central Asia's trade and commerce. What makes the Fergana Valley even more remarkable is its ability to produce so much food in such a small area. Despite being surrounded by mountains, the valley's irrigation systems allow farmers to grow crops in a way that other regions can't. This makes it an essential area not just for Uzbekistan, but for the whole of Central Asia. So, the next time you enjoy a meal made with grains, cotton, or fruits, you might just be tasting the products of the Fergana Valley, the breadbasket of Central Asia. Fact 11. Uzbekistan's tea culture is a national pastime. Forget coffee, Uzbekistan is all about tea, and their tea culture is something to experience. In Uzbekistan, tea is much more than just a drink. It's a tradition, a way of life, and an important part of the country's hospitality. Whether you're visiting a bustling market in a city or a peaceful village in the countryside, you will always be offered a cup of tea. Tea is central to the daily routine in Uzbekistan, and it's considered an essential part of social life. It's not just something you drink when you're thirsty, it's a way to connect with others and show hospitality. The traditional way of drinking tea in Uzbekistan is from a small delicate cup called a piala. These cups are often made from porcelain or clay and are beautifully decorated. Tea is typically served in these small cups, which makes each sip feel special and meaningful. The tea itself is usually strong and flavorful, and it's served with sugar but not milk, which is a bit different from many other tea-drinking cultures around the world. The custom of drinking tea is not just about enjoying the beverage, it's also about the experience of sharing. It's common for Uzbek people to offer tea to guests as a sign of respect and friendship. If you visit someone's home, you'll almost certainly be invited to sit down and enjoy a cup of tea together. It's a way for people to catch up, share stories, and make connections. Tea drinking is a moment for slowing down and enjoying each other's company. One of the most popular types of tea in Uzbekistan is green tea. It's often brewed strong and served in large pots, ready to be poured into small cups. This type of tea has been enjoyed in Uzbekistan for centuries and is a symbol of warmth and hospitality. Some families may also serve black tea, but green tea remains the most popular choice throughout the country. The tea is often accompanied by sweets or light snacks, such as samsa, savory pastries, or chak-chak, a sweet fried dessert made with honey and dough. Tea culture in Uzbekistan is not just a household tradition, it's woven into the fabric of the country's social life. In towns and villages, you'll often find small tea houses where people gather throughout the day to sip tea and chat with friends. These gatherings are an important way for people to relax, discuss their day, or share news. Whether it's a quiet moment in the morning or an afternoon break, tea is always there. It's easy to see why tea is such a big part of Uzbekistan's culture. It's not just about the drink itself, but about building connections and creating a sense of community. If you ever visit Uzbekistan, taking part in the tea culture is a must. It's an experience that goes beyond just tasting tea. It's about sharing a moment with others and embracing a warm tradition that has been passed down for generations. Fact 12. The city of Bukhara was once a major center for Islamic learning. Bukhara was once the heart of Islamic scholarship, where some of the greatest minds in history gathered. Bukhara, often called the City of Knowledge, played a vital role in the development of Islamic learning. For centuries, this ancient city was a center of education, philosophy, and theology. During the Islamic Golden Age, Bukhara was home to countless scholars, scientists, and thinkers who contributed significantly to fields like mathematics, medicine, astronomy, and literature. It was a place where the brightest minds of the time came to study, teach, and share ideas. Bukhara's madrasas, Islamic schools, mosques, and libraries were key to this flourishing of knowledge. The city was filled with stunning buildings that not only served religious purposes but also functioned as centers for learning. The madrasas were where students gathered to learn about religion, law, and science. One of the most famous madrasas in Bukhara is the Miri Arab Madrasa, which still stands today as a testament to the city's intellectual legacy. In addition to its madrasas, Bukhara was home to grand mosques like the Bolo House Mosque, which still stands as an important religious and cultural symbol. These mosques weren't just places of worship, they were also hubs for scholarly activity. The religious leaders and scholars who gathered here often taught students from across the Islamic world, spreading knowledge that would influence generations. One of the most famous scholars associated with Bukhara is al-Bukhari, a renowned Islamic scholar who is best known for compiling the Sahih al-Bukhari, one of the most respected collections of sayings, hadith, of the Prophet Muhammad. His work continues to be studied by Muslims around the world. Bukhara was also home to other scholars like al-Maturidi, who made important contributions to Islamic theology. At its peak, Bukhara wasn't just a place for religious study, it was also a thriving hub for the arts and sciences. The city attracted mathematicians, astronomers, and physicians from all over the Islamic world. In fact, the famous Persian physician Avicenna, whose works helped shape modern medicine, spent time in Bukhara during his lifetime. Today, the city still carries the legacy of this rich history. Many of the ancient mosques, madrasas, and madrasa complexes have been preserved, and visitors can still walk through the same streets where scholars once studied and debated. While Bukhara may not be the intellectual center it once was, it remains an important symbol of the Islamic Golden Age and a reminder of the vital role that knowledge and education played in shaping the world. Bukhara's reputation as a city of learning continues to inspire people today. Its blend of historical significance and architectural beauty makes it a place where you can truly feel the weight of centuries of wisdom and culture. Fact 13. Uzbekistan's population is predominantly Muslim. Islam plays a major role in Uzbekistan's culture, with over 90% of the population being Muslim. In Uzbekistan, Islam is not just a religion, it is a way of life. Over 90% of the population practices Islam, making it the dominant religion in the country. This deep connection to Islam shapes almost every aspect of life in Uzbekistan, from the food people eat to the way they celebrate important holidays. Islamic traditions and customs are an essential part of Uzbek culture. For example, prayer is a central part of daily life, with many Uzbeks attending mosques for the 5 daily prayers. The call to prayer, heard from mosques across the country, is a reminder of the importance of faith in everyday life. This strong, spiritual connection is also reflected in the country's architecture, where many beautiful mosques and madrasas, Islamic schools, are found, especially in cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva. These buildings, with their stunning designs and intricate tile work, are symbols of Uzbekistan's Islamic heritage and are a source of pride for the people. Islam also plays a significant role in Uzbek holidays and festivals. One of the most important celebrations is Ramadan, the holy month of fasting. During Ramadan, Muslims in Uzbekistan fast from dawn to sunset, refraining from eating or drinking. After sunset, families come together to share meals and celebrate the end of the fast. The Eid al-Fitr festival, which marks the end of Ramadan, is a major holiday in Uzbekistan, where people visit relatives, give charity, and enjoy festive meals. Similarly, Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice, is another important occasion, when families and communities come together to celebrate. In addition to holidays, Islamic traditions are also seen in daily customs. For example, hospitality is an essential value in Uzbek culture, and guests are always offered tea and food as a sign of respect and generosity. These practices reflect the core Islamic values of kindness, sharing, and community. Islamic teachings also influence the way people approach family life, marriage, and even business. Family is highly valued, and respect for elders is an important part of Uzbek social life. The teachings of Islam guide how Uzbeks interact with each other, emphasizing respect, honesty, and compassion. Overall, Islam has a deep and lasting impact on Uzbek society. It shapes the country's traditions, celebrations, architecture, and even everyday interactions. The influence of Islam in Uzbekistan goes beyond just religious practices. It is a vital part of the country's identity and continues to play an important role in the lives of millions of people. Fact 14. Uzbekistan's language, Uzbek, is a member of the Turkic language family. Uzbek is the official language of Uzbekistan, and it's part of the Turkic language family, similar to languages spoken in Turkey and Central Asia. The Uzbek is the official language of Uzbekistan, and it belongs to the Turkic language family, which means it shares similarities with languages spoken in other parts of Central Asia, as well as in Turkey. If you speak Uzbek, you'll notice some common features with Kazakh, Kyrgyz, and even Turkish, because these languages all come from the same language group. This shared history makes Uzbek an important cultural link between Uzbekistan and other countries in Central Asia, as well as Turkey. The Turkic language family is one of the largest language groups in the world, with over 35 different languages, spoken across a vast area stretching from Turkey to Mongolia and from China to Russia. Uzbek, like many Turkic languages, has a unique structure and vocabulary. For example, it has vowel harmony, meaning that vowels in words need to match in sound. This is a feature found in several Turkic languages, including Turkish and Kazakh. Although Uzbek is similar to other Turkic languages, it also has its own distinct features. Over the centuries, the Uzbek language has borrowed words from Persian, Arabic, and Russian, which reflects the country's long history of cultural exchanges and influences. These foreign words have been incorporated into the Uzbek vocabulary, giving the language a rich and diverse feel. For instance, many words related to religion and government come from Arabic, while terms related to technology and modern life may have Russian roots. Uzbek is written using the Latin alphabet, which was introduced after the country gained independence from the Soviet Union in 1991. Before that, Uzbek was written in the Cyrillic alphabet, which had been used during Soviet rule. The switch to the Latin alphabet was part of Uzbekistan's effort to strengthen its national identity and move away from the Soviet influence. Because of the similarities between Uzbek and other Turkic languages, speakers of Uzbek can often understand some of the basics of other Central Asian languages, especially when it comes to vocabulary and sentence structure. This makes Uzbek not only important for communication within Uzbekistan, but also a useful bridge for people in the region who want to connect with neighbors like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and even Turkey. The Uzbek language plays a key role in the identity and culture of the Uzbek people. It's not just a means of communication. It's a symbol of national pride and a connection to the country's long and rich history. Fact 15. Uzbekistan has reformed its economy and is opening up to tourism. Uzbekistan is no longer the closed-off country it once was. It's now embracing modernization, reforms, and international tourism. For many years, Uzbekistan was a country that kept to itself. It was largely isolated from the outside world, and its economy was tightly controlled by the government. However, things have changed dramatically in recent years. Uzbekistan has been taking steps to open up and modernize, with a focus on improving its economy and welcoming more tourists. The government of Uzbekistan has implemented a number of economic reforms aimed at making the country more competitive and connected to the global market. These changes have made it easier for businesses to operate, encouraged foreign investments, and improved the overall business climate. One major change has been in the currency exchange system, where the government has worked to make it more flexible, allowing for better exchange rates and easier access to foreign currencies. These reforms have been important in boosting trade and helping the country grow economically. In addition to economic changes, Uzbekistan has also started opening its doors to international tourism. For many years, Uzbekistan was not a major tourist destination, but that is rapidly changing. The country's rich history, beautiful landscapes, and unique culture are now attracting more visitors from around the world. Cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva, with their stunning Islamic architecture and historical landmarks, are becoming popular spots for tourists seeking to explore the wonders of the Silk Road. Uzbekistan's tourism industry is growing fast. The government has made efforts to improve infrastructure, including better roads, airports, and hotels, to make travel more convenient for visitors. The country has also relaxed visa rules, allowing tourists from many countries to visit without the need for complicated paperwork. As a result, more and more travelers are discovering Uzbekistan and its many attractions, from the beautiful Kizilkum Desert to the ancient Registan Square in Samarkand. But tourism is not the only sector benefiting from these reforms. Uzbekistan is also seeing improvements in education, healthcare, and technology, all of which are making life better for its citizens. The country is becoming more modern, while still holding on to its rich traditions and culture. Uzbekistan's efforts to open up and embrace modernization are turning the country into an exciting and dynamic place. With its warm hospitality, rich cultural heritage, and stunning landscapes, Uzbekistan is quickly becoming one of the most sought-after travel destinations in Central Asia. Whether you're interested in history, nature, or just experiencing and a new culture, Uzbekistan offers something for everyone, and it's only going to keep growing in popularity. Uzbekistan is a country full of surprises, offering so much more than meets the eye. From its ancient cities like Samarkand and Bukhara, to the beautiful landscapes of the Kizilkum Desert and the Fergana Valley, Uzbekistan is a place rich in history, culture, and natural beauty. Whether it's the stunning architecture, the fascinating history of the Silk Road, or the warm hospitality of its people, there's something in Uzbekistan that will leave you in awe. The country's recent economic reforms and growing tourism industry are making it easier than ever to experience all that Uzbekistan has to offer. And with a population that's as diverse as its history, you're sure to encounter something new and exciting at every turn. From the delicious food to the vibrant tea culture, Uzbekistan is a place where traditions live on, and where the past and present come together in perfect harmony. So, if you haven't already, it's time to put Uzbekistan on your travel bucket list. There's so much waiting to be discovered. So, are you ready to explore this incredible country? Drop a comment and let me know which fact about Uzbekistan surprised you the most. And remember, the next time someone mentions Uzbekistan, you'll be the one who knows just how amazing it really is.